I absolutely love the Fuse ladder because it is a combination of the wall ladder, of a spring wall, of a tower. It's got all of those components. It's really cool. So this one piece of equipment has so many options for what you can do with it. I love it for myself. I love it for John Garey TV, and I'm super happy that I got it. It looks great on my wall. You should get one too.
Hi, welcome to Fuse Ladder. I'm going to show you how you can attract new clients, get better results with your current clients, diversify your offerings, whether that be in group classes or private instruction or both, maximize your space and minimize your costs, all with a unique patented fitness and rehab machine that does almost everything and never ever gets boring to use as a student or as a teacher. Through our time together, you'll see what's truly possible with the right equipment, and you'll hear from some of our owners how the Fuse Ladder has transformed their businesses. This presentation will be short and packed with really useful information. And if you stay till the end, I'll be sharing an opportunity to get your hands on a special offer, or shall I say 3. So close all those tabs on your computer, especially the ones you know you're never coming back to. Get off Instagram. Here's a picture of my dogs to tide you over. Press pause on payroll, and let's talk about how to make your business more fun, more rewarding, and more profitable. You're in the right place if you're a Pilates or fitness studio owner who's looking to add something unique to your offerings that has more variety than any other equipment. You want the functionality of classical Pilates equipment like the Cadillac, tower, Ped-o-pull, and stall bars. You have a mat-based studio and want to add equipment without using up all of your valuable floor space. You specialize in training athletes or people in wheelchairs or anyone in between. You own a PT, rehab, or wellness studio, and you want to be able to do more with less.
Ever since installing the ladder in my own studio, it's become an indispensable part of my client sessions as well as my own personal practice.
I'm Mariska Breland, a Pilates teacher and teacher trainer and the creator of the Fuse Ladder. I was lead teacher and co-owner of 3 successful Pilates studios in Washington, D.C. with my business partner, CEO Roxana Hakimi, specializing in unique and fun contemporary Pilates group classes. You might know me from them or from Pilates Anytime, the Neuro Studio, my workshops, or you might not know me at all. But I've successfully mixed both group fitness and private rehab training into a nearly 20-year career as a Pilates teacher. Roxana and I sold our studios in 2020 to focus on Fuse Ladder, an apparatus that enabled our business to pivot when the fitness landscape started to make big changes. When we first opened in our first years as studio owners, we grossed around $750,000. We won all of the Best of awards and were the game in town. We wanted to grow by opening more studios. And then the industry started really changing. First there was ClassPass, and then the big companies started to come to town. SoulCycle, Flywheel, Barry's Boot Camp, Pilates chains, and new bar and Pilates studios seemingly every week. We were sitting in a parking lot in a downpour, ready to sign a lease on a $16,000 a month space that we planned on filling with traditional Pilates equipment, things that are big and expensive. And that's when we had the idea that we should create something unique. Fuse Ladder began as a sketch on a Post-it note that became the cornerstone of our new studio. Thankfully, that $16,000 a month studio fell through, and our second studio ended up being a lot cheaper and smaller. But it was the perfect place to test drive the concept of Fuse Ladder as a group class with 12 homemade ladders that we had made by a carpenter, a furniture maker, and springs that we bought from a third party. It certainly wasn't what the Fuse Ladder would become, but it gave us a good starting point to figure out what we wanted it to be. Plus, we began to design workouts that were unique to the Fuse Ladder at that point. Over the years, this changed a lot. We added 2 overhead pull-up bars, double sliding hooks, and the ability to add a push-through bar. Still, that Post-it note sketch and those original 12 ladders gave us a vision of what this new apparatus could be. And what started as an idea to offer something kind of new and different and maybe get something for that target market that was always looking for the fresh, cool new thing, actually figured out some things that were missing from Pilates. Standing and balance exercises that were appropriate for all levels. Endless opportunities for rehab. and strength-focused modality that appealed more to male clients than our Pilates classes ever had. Can you imagine what it would feel like to have a packed schedule, rave reviews from clients, a way to stand out in a crowded market, the best and most versatile apparatus money can buy? If you want a sleek, smart, space-saving machine with unlimited fitness and rehab potential, then the Fuse ladder is the one thing your studio or home gym cannot live without. Fuse ladder was the answer to a lot of business challenges. First, space. To maximize profits, we're looking to make every bit of square footage revenue generating. Each Fuse ladder takes up just slightly more than 3 inches of floor space, which allowed us to hold mat classes, trampoline classes, yoga privates, and more in the same space as our Fuse ladder classes.
The space-saving aspect of having this up against the wall is huge. I have it in a room with many other apparatus, and it always feels out of the way. And because of the wall space on either side, I've over the years now found some really cool ways to utilize the space next to and beside the Fuse, whether it be the wall, and you can enable wall sits and holding on to spring tension, or standing behind and having springs from here and just being much farther and off to the side.
This piece doesn't take up a lot of space. It blends a lot of the traditional pieces of equipment together. So from a cost perspective, it makes a lot of sense for a Pilates studio because we're investing in very large pieces of equipment. And it allows us to touch a little bit more on the fitness aspect, which I think is really important. We need to bring the two worlds together, and this is a very easy way to integrate the two.
It takes a lot of time and energy to train good instructors. Mat takes time, reformer takes time, full comprehensively trained teachers or physical therapy takes years. We have online training and in-person training, but also the intuitive nature of the equipment makes it really easy to learn to teach and to use in a condensed period of time. More on that in a few. Third, expense. Equipment is expensive. Our studio reformers were $5,000 a piece, and we had 8 of those in just one of our studios. We also had 12 chairs, a Cadillac, ladder barrel, and more in that one studio. First, the Fuse ladder is priced comparably to wall towers, cheaper than reformers, cheaper than Cadillacs, and actually it's more than 3 apparatus in one. It's got the functionality of a wall tower with the overhang of a Cadillac. That overhang can do almost all of the Ped-o-pull exercises and some of the Cadillac ones too. Plus there's an entire repertoire of stall bar exercises. Combining those things together gives exercises that are brand new, but can work every part of you at every level.
I have an entire studio filled with equipment. My studio probably has $20,000 worth of equipment in it. And I kid you not, this is what I use the most.
We're also less expensive than a commercial reformer or Cadillac, and we can work on flexibility, strength, balance, cardio, as well as do suspension, yoga, bar, and Pilates workouts. And I think most importantly, you can do things on the Fuse ladder you simply cannot do with any other single apparatus.
They incorporate the best of Pilates strength training, taking Pilates to standing, working on my push-pull strength, just all this wonderful ability to work in different directions, work off of heights, hanging, climbing, primal movement. I can't say enough about how much I love the Fuse ladder.
The Fuse ladder didn't just make a big difference at Fuse Pilates. It's been a game changer at studios and rehab centers around the world.
So you can add arm springs and leg springs to the side of it and do all kinds of Pilates and fitness workouts with it. You can also use the ladder, which is very similar to the ladder that's at the end of a ladder barrel, but it goes so far up the wall that it gives you a lot more options and it's really secure. Then you have the pull-up bars overhead, which gives you a ton of options for not only fitness, but also adding things like a suspension training system. I use my TRX on it for my own workouts, and it's really phenomenal. It just really expands the number of things that you can do with this one piece of equipment. And finally, there's also a push-through bar that you can attach to it, which gives it the same feel as a tower or a Cadillac.
When I started incorporating the fused ladder into my studio as a group, my world just exploded. When you really explore the creativeness of having all these moves in your group classes, like the fused ladder, one of the things that you do is you really set yourself apart from the studio down the street.
Fused ladder makes my sessions go by with so much more ease. I don't have to find TheraBands. I don't have to like MacGyver things because I can just use the fused ladder. Now, the beauty of it is, say you've got a client that is seated, maybe in a wheelchair, you can roll them right up to the ladder. I've worked with people with spinal cord injuries. I can actually bring my table or bed that you have in a PT clinic right up to the fused ladder. So maybe the client can't get down on the ground, but they can lay down on the table, we can hook them up to springs, and we can get some spinal flexion or arm exercises. It's also a great tool to get more standing exercises with support. I can put springs on non-moving limbs and moving limbs at different tensions to not only challenge stability, but also challenge mobility. You can put springs around their legs, their feet, their shoulders, hold it in their hand. Really, the options are endless. The fused ladder has made my life so much easier, and I'm getting better results from my clients.
Having the availability of both the rungs to be able to get us closer to the ground or all the way and up to enable our transitions, and also have, I believe I counted correctly, 27 different attachment points that are just so easily movable that allow me to bring both the resistance to and away from the client without a whole lot of necessarily them moving to get to it closer, further, and variable. It just becomes just beyond beneficial for everything that you could want it to be.
We're not just an equipment company. We're also an educational company. In terms of teacher training, we have in-person trainings, training over Zoom, pre-recorded Zoom training, and a 175-page manual with hundreds of exercises. We also have free videos and tutorials online that can get you started with dozens of exercises to work on strength, balance, and mobility, as well as some full-length classes. Plus, we have an affordable subscription service with some of our favorite teachers that we update regularly with new content covering a breadth of different teaching styles.
The workouts were fantastic. The stepping up, using the springs, not using the springs, the suspension, the ability to throw Pilates into the mix. My mind is spinning with ideas and the ability to use this with every single one of my clients.
But I also liked how there were strength components and flexibility components, cardio components, more stretching components, all the different things. I was surprised to see the cardio components. That was probably the biggest thing.
I have to agree. The cardio is a big thing for me. Along with strength training as well.
Right.
So I really enjoyed a lot of the strength training that was involved with it.
We also have an amazing and active community on social media that gives us fantastic ideas of new things to do with the fused ladder. The question for you is, how do you want to spend your resources to get the results you want for your business? Option 1. You could follow the same formula as every other studio. Rack up tens of thousands of dollars or more buying reformers, towers, or setting up a well-equipped private studio. Pray your classes fill up, and then spend every waking moment racking your brain to figure out how you are going to set yourself apart from the rest of the studios that surround you. Or option 2, invest in an apparatus that allows you to adapt to any student, have floor space left over to run mat classes or rent out to a massage therapist or yoga teacher, plus you have endless movement options.
Without a doubt, the #1 advantage this apparatus has over any other one that I own is this extreme amount of variability and adaptability for anything we can want it to do. Whether I have somebody who wants to train some crazy cool skill set like a human flag, or strength train pull-ups in any number of different ways, or your classic Pilates lover who really loves the advantage of back bends and deep ranges you can usually just get on the Cadillac. Most of that is mimicable here in a plethora of ways.
The Fuse Ladder Basic Package comes with the ladder, which is 94 inches tall, which is about 7.5 feet tall. It can also be lowered if your ceilings are lower, so it's about 85 inches, by taking off the bottom rung and this bottom section of the outside frame. It comes with short light springs and long light springs, as well as long medium weight springs, handles, foot loops, a rung cover, and backboard. You can also get an optional push-through bar attachment, which comes with a light spring, a heavy spring, and a safety strap. Also, the Fuse Ladder is purposefully the same width as a Pilates Cadillac or tower, and it's designed to be able to work with the core line. The ladder itself comes assembled. The only thing that you have to do is assemble and attach the top bar, which is easier than IKEA and takes about 15 minutes to do. In terms of the wall where it attaches, we haven't run into any walls where it doesn't work, but it's really up to you and your contractor to figure out how it would work for you. We also offer a variety of accessories for the Fuse Ladder, including extra heavy long springs, an incredibly fun and versatile yoga sling, circus straps for suspension work and inversions, and a connector strap to easily join 2 springs together with a longer connection than the D-ring foot loops offer. If you order now, you'll get 3 valuable bonuses you don't want to miss. The first bonus is access to our online full body fitness training, a 4-hour program that will teach you hundreds of new moves that you can do on your Fuse Ladder. The second bonus is a 3-month membership to our online fitness studio, so you can work out with our top trainers and never run out of fresh ideas to use in your group classes and private sessions. The third bonus is a one-on-one Zoom strategy session with me or one of our other lead instructors to talk about the best ways that you can use your Fuse Ladder, whether that's coming up with ideas for a rehab client or creating a super challenging workout for your fittest students. Altogether, that's $425 in bonus value, and it's only available for a limited time. If you have any questions at all, shoot us an email at info@fuseladder.com.
Everybody I put on the Fuse Ladder just loves it.
You can do more standing exercises. You can do lying down on the floor. You can do sitting. You can do rotation. You can do hanging. You can do upside down stuff. You can do anything on the Fuse Ladder.
Every single client I have has made mention of how their sessions have gone up with the availability of having this in our studio. And I know that you will agree. So I encourage everybody to get one of these in your studio or get your hands on a studio that has one. I promise you won't regret it.
And there's rarely a class that goes by where I don't use that thing. So enjoy your Fuse Ladder. Explore your Fuse Ladder. Be one with your Fuse Ladder. Seriously. Get to know your Fuse Ladder, because it is a killer piece of equipment.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you on the Fuse Ladder soon.